want to be here.
I'm happy to see what I'm to do in this odd voice world. Hello everybody and welcome to another Digimon video.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of my Just a New Podcast. The thing that I learned about failure and a lot of this path when it comes to becoming a content creator, or really choosing anything that it is that you want to do or be, because there's always going to be somebody that's going to look at it and say, oh, that's not conventional, that's not going to get you any money, you're not going to make it anywhere trying to do that, there's already too many people, or something along the lines of that. There's always going to be that negativity. But that negativity should never be a reason for you to stop. Just because someone wasn't able to make it that way doesn't mean that you won't.
Look at my test. 5 Ding. Oh no! We're going down! We're going down! A Tanisoft very cute. ABC. Conceptualized in 1934 by John and Vincent Tanisoft. It was actually completed and created in 1942. Process, not just in the world and support that intelligence. It would also be used to the processes of the operating system.
That's for you. Okay, that's my process. I don't know. Hello everybody and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me for a first look at Wukong. Yeah, I love train going on through. Choo-choo. Hello everybody and welcome to the circle. Around the circle. Around the circle. Around the circle. Circle running. I never lie, circle running. I'm happy to see what I'm to do in this odd voice world. Hello everybody and welcome to another Digimon video. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of my Just a New Podcast. The thing that I learned about failure and a lot of this path when it comes to becoming a content creator, or really choosing anything that it is that you want to do or be, because there's always going to be somebody that's going to look at it and say, oh, that's not conventional, that's not going to get you any money, you're not going to make it anywhere trying to do that, there's already too many people, or something along the lines of that. There's always going to be that negativity. But that negativity should never be a reason for you to stop. Just because someone wasn't able to make it that way doesn't mean that you won't.
Look at my test. 5 Ding. Oh no! We're going down! We're going down! A Tanisoft very cute. ABC. Conceptualized in 1934 by John and Vincent Tanisoft. It was actually completed and created in 1942. One.
Start le background music.
Nope, you're not allowed.
Excuse me, sir.
There is no excuse.
All right, sassy pants. Either way, hello everybody and welcome.
Contact.
We just can't start one without that, huh? It's
Nope.
just gotta always be there.
I am contemplating making it a shirt.
Okay. If you make it a shirt, I will put it on the merch store as a collaborative with Rage Game, right? Rage Gaming?
Rage Quit Apparel.
Rage Quit Apparel, sorry. Which, for those of you who don't know, Rage Quit Apparel is Chef's merch store line. Definitely should check it out. He is going to be revamping it, but either way, check it out. So, doing our intro, now that I've been interrupted by Taint to Taint Contact. Hello, everybody, and welcome.
I mean, it's always an always an interruption. I mean, nobody expects Taint to Taint Contact.
God damn it.
Because you got to move some stuff out of the way to get the taints to touch.
Alrighty then. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of A Bunch of Goofs. And today's subject is not Taint to Taint Contact. It is actually about.
That's on the after show.
Today's subject is sci-fi versus fantasy in video games. Son of a bitch. And what is up, Esh Plume? Thank you so much for being here. And Scotty, we would really appreciate all of y'all for being here on our Twitch livecast podcast. Thank you so very much. And of course, for those of you who don't know, we have been posting Bunch of Goofs. We are starting to post Bunch of Goofs on YouTube. Oh. Ash Plume. Dude. Sir. Thank you. Thank you so much for that donation. You know you don't need to do that. I fucking appreciate you. With all my heart.
Why is this expected?
You, sir. You, sir.
He works me to death for no wages, guys. Now he's asking me for more.
I'm gonna rub your taint with my big toe, and I'm not gonna cut my toenails.
Ooh, even kinkier. Blood play.
Oh God, no, just no. All right, anyways, let's get on with the actual subject, with this sci-fi versus fantasy in video games. Now, we can start this off with two of the biggest fantasy games that we know of. Although one of them is not exactly Chef's favorite. Which is Oblivion or Elder Scrolls versus Halo.
Again, don't get me wrong. I like Elder Scrolls. They are fun to watch. But fuck do I want to put my head through a wall every 15 minutes when I play those games.
Understandable. 100% understandable.
The most fun I ever had playing Skyrim was doing an unarmed run with a fucking Khajiit, and I didn't even make it a quarter of the way into the fucking game. Although it was really fun using Lydia as bait as I was punching a dragon to death.
Okay, his volume is a little bit low. Give me 1 second. I can actually fix that because I have this wonderful thing.
I'm also pretty far from my mic.
Yeah,
I guess I can get closer.
Yes.
Jeez.
Let people see your beautiful face while it's being distorted by that. God damn it, go away. No, not that. God damn it. There we go. I was breaking things.
I can hide behind my mic.
No. Okay, see.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chef.
Okay, this is not an ASMR stream. Please don't. Please don't, sir.
I'll just start clicking with my non-existent nails.
You gotta have one of those earlobe things that you nibble on. I think that's what it is. I don't know. And what is up, Pro Hungry? Appreciate you being here on Twitch. And you know, honestly, it is a little bit of a it's a preference thing. I know there are some people who use ASMR
to actually relax and fall asleep? Do the Whisper Song by the Yin Yang Twins. Oh,
I don't even know the lyrics to that song.
Oh, God. Okay. All right. So, back into subject as our ADHD takes us fucking everywhere. We were talking about...
I am so fucking dead ass tired right now. I'm surprised I can concentrate enough to even fucking do this. So...
was Gabby... Okay. First off, Gabby, thank you so much for telling me, because I'm going to tell you right now, whenever people change their screen names, I am never going to remember you, because I have a hard enough time putting a name to the face when there's no face, just a name. That's all I've got. So thank you so much for letting me know. I do appreciate it. We're trying our best. I'm just saying, like, I feel really bad whenever I forget somebody, because I'm not trying to forget anybody. I appreciate everybody who shows up and supports us, but it's also hard to remember when people change their name. No, shut up, chef.
I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything. That's all in your imagination.
Sure, imagination.
Imagination. God damn it! I use that so fucking much in everyday fucking use. Like,
SpongeBob is an integral part of our lives. We grew up with it.
I mean, shit. Scotty and I had a fucking argument the other day that was very much Patrick and SpongeBob. Pink, yellow, pink, yellow. We were just fucking around. It was essentially the same fucking thing.
Oh yeah. And no, you are very not wrong with that. SpongeBob had a lot of inside adult jokes that were very much so on the surface. But if you weren't an adult, you didn't get it.
Why did you say that in the longest way possible?
Because
you're very not wrong. You could just say you're very right, or you're right on that one. You added like 3 extra words.
Shut up.
Stop trying to make this a Skyrim version of fucking talking, okay?
I'm not. This is just how I talk.
This conversation is like walking from fucking Whiterun to goddamn Mordor or some shit.
No, but then you end up right back in Whiterun.
I know. And you can't fucking fast travel.
Now, back to the subject, if we possibly can. We were talking about Halo versus Elder Scrolls. Now, when you think about it, like, if you put anything from Halo in the Elder Scrolls universe, they're gonna fucking panic.
So if you put anything in a Halo in the Elder Scrolls?
Yeah.
No. That's like saying if you're gonna put Doom Guy in fucking Animal Crossing, he's gonna panic. No, he's not. He's gonna do the same shit that he was doing anyway. Welcome to fucking Spartan 117 Master Chief. Now the fucking USNMC fucking Marines, yeah, they can't handle a 7-foot tall fucking alien or a little tiny, little person of a grunt with 2 grenades. So sure, they're gonna see a dragon and go, "What the fuck?" But Spartan John's gonna be like, "Hey, I can kill that."
That's true. That is true. Now, in terms of like magic versus sci-fi energy weapons,
yeah.
At the very least in video games, which one do you prefer?
I mean, you know me, I fucking love fantasy. The D&D especially, and anything like that. I love magic, but at the same time, guns. I mean, again, so energy weapons not so much, but like Halo, UNSMC weapons and all that fun shit. It's like you're asking like one that could be made up, or one that could be actually made and used.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of apples versus oranges. I would love for magic to be a fucking thing, because that would solve so many of my problems. But at the same time, I want an actual working USMC USNC assault rifle, which somebody did build one, and it does function correctly, and it does have the right ammo counter in the magazine.
But is it the right caliber?
Probably not. I mean, I think it shot 5.56, but I wasn't sure. But I don't remember.
Let's see. Oh, 1 second. Pro Hungry here says in the chat, I was spending time at my buddy's place. He was playing a MOBA I haven't seen yet before he got mad and started calling his opponents blank. Not going to really say that out loud, cheaters. And hey, we don't cheat. And I laughed so hard and fell down the stairs. God damn it, dude. So, okay, so I guess not in the terms of like practicality, though. I guess in terms of cinematics, sci-fi versus magic in video games. Where do you think you could see more theatrics from? From a sci-fi game or from a fantasy game?
I mean, technically, if you're just thinking like theatrics, it'd have to be fantasy, unless it's a fantasy world with no magic. Because, I mean, again, the whole definition of theatrics is, you know, make believe, all that fun shit. Sci-fi technically can happen. Probably not the Star Wars way, but, you know, probably closer to Star Trek, but technically it can happen.
Oh yeah, obviously. I mean, we don't have worlds colliding. But then again,
right, but I mean, I'm talking theatrics though.
Yeah.
Like when you think theatrics, it's shit that can't actually happen. And I mean, you have Elder Scrolls in Magic or Legends of Zelda in Magic, and you know, in my opinion, Magic's more theatrical because there's damn near 0% chance that it actually can happen.
True. Well, I guess it's more in the terms of like visually appealing. Like say this, like, example in sci-fi, a scene that's like iconic would be, at least one that I find iconic, would be when Starkiller was bringing down the
the cruiser.
Yeah, from space. Like moments like that.
Now, here's the fun part about that though. If we're talking Star Wars is kind of the mix of both.
I guess that is true because there is magic in Star Wars.
It is fantasy. There's fantasy because you have magic, and you know all the non-terrestrial dinosaur or monsters and shit like that.
Yeah, that's true.
And all the alien races, but again, you also have sci-fi, which you know, space, aliens, fucking fancy weapons.
True. And I don't know, for me personally, and I guess it's also the fact that in Star Wars canon, Force magic is a thing.
I really need to find the guard for that fucking fan that's right in between my legs.
Oh god, did it get you?
Yeah.
Did it get your taint?
No, it got my fucking calf.
All right, let's see. I wanted to read some of these chat comments. Eshboom says Akatosh alone would solo the Halo. Okay, yeah, but those are gods. Let's see. Sci-fi centers more around the possibilities of what would be. Magic is more a depiction of what the world would never be, but you fantasize about. True. I guess that is true. Quick question.
Which is roughly what I was saying.
Yeah. And let's see. Pro Hungary asks, on a scale of 1 to 10, how screwed am I if I decide to play a wizard, but my highest stat is strength? The DM I play said
extremely screwed.
We can roll d20. Yeah. No. You don't want your highest stat to be strength.
Well, it depends upon what kind of wizard you're making, because I do have a battle mage where your strength needs to at least be 15, so that way you can wear heavy plate armor and still cast magic. So it kind of depends upon the type of wizard you're trying to be. If you're trying to be a battle mage, it's really not that big of a deal. But
you have to specialize in your feats to make that right,
should
don't you?
definitely be your Uh, yes and no. It depends. In Baldur's Gate, more so especially.
Mhm.
Yes. In 5e, no. You can pick a hill dwarf, which is automatically proficient in medium armor and shields, and then the only thing you have to get is the heavily armored feat at level 3,
Okay.
and then you can wear plate armor.
All right. I guess that's not too bad. All right. Let's see. So, can you think of any moments that are like that iconic in a fantasy game, though?
Do what? Sorry.
Sorry. Can you think of any moments that are as iconic as the one that I mentioned involving Starkiller in a fantasy game?
So herein lies my problem. In other medias, I prefer fantasy over sci-fi, like movies, books, especially. Stuff like that. I haven't really played that many fantasy games. Like I've never played Dragon Age. I've never played like I'm not a huge fan of Final Fantasy, if you want to call that fantasy versus whatever.
I mean, technically it
Um,
is, but it like leans into the
yeah,
side of punk of some kind.
exactly. But when it comes to video games, I prefer sci-fi because they have guns.
So
And
you,
plus, I mean, most sci-fi games are fast-paced and stuff like that. And as we know, out of all of us here on BOG, I'm the one who's centered around like FPS, fast-paced gun gameplay, shit like that, with the whole competitive background and everything like that.
Mhm.
Whereas I was never big into RPGs. Like I tried MMOs, I tried this, I tried that, and it's just I always end up coming back to racing and shooting.
Okay.
Because I mean, my iconic sci-fi moment comes from Halo, and there's like multitudes of them. One of them being, Master Chief, what are you doing? I'm giving the Covenant their bomb back.
Which we all, I mean, anyone who's a fan of Halo, you love that scene. You gotta love that scene.
Oh yeah, I mean, or fucking. I mean, truthfully, my favorite level in Halo is the end of Halo 1, where you're driving the Warthog through the exploding fucking, the ring, basically.
Hmm.
And I mean, anytime the ring explodes in Halo is iconic as shit. So, again, when it comes to video games, I tend to lean more towards the sci-fi aspect of it, because most fantasy games are all RPGs, every single one.
Okay, I can definitely see where you're coming from with there, but there is a fantasy game that I think that you do enjoy. At least we've talked about it. That might have some scenes like that, such as God of War.
Oh fuck yeah!
Because
I love God of War. I wish it would. I wish they would allow you to play it on Xbox. I really do. Because I refuse to get a PlayStation because
I mean,
Sony and reasons.
yeah, but that the reason why it's not on Xbox is because of Sony and reasons.
I mean, at the same time, you can't really cast that stone because the reason Halo's not on anything else is because of
Microsoft and reasons. Yeah.
Or Gears of War, or stuff like that. And I mean, granted, Gears of War is another sci-fi one that I absolutely love.
Ooh,
which
yes.
I just reinstalled Gears of War 1 on the Xbox because I'm gonna start playing that again because I fucking love that series.
So how do you...
God of War was awesome.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. Like granted, I have a soft spot for like Greek gods and all that fun shit, or Norse gods, or Egyptian gods. I love ancient pantheons of shit. Thank you, Stargate SG-1.
Yes.
I mean, God of War was awesome just because you could actually play somebody who was cursed by the gods and who goes on a rampage and kills all the gods. She's like, fuck you. You guys are assholes.
Yeah, because, I mean, when you really think about Greek mythology and you go into the gods, they're all kind of assholes. Just saying.
Oh, I mean they are in every depiction of them except for anything that has to do with kids, like the Disney movie Hercules and all that fun shit.
Yep. So,
which, by the way, best voice actor in that entire fucking movie is James Woods.
of course, it would be James Woods for you.
Hades is fucking hilarious. Okay.
No, you're not wrong. I love Hades.
The best part about Hades in that fucking movie, while we're talking about it, is the fact that he's not a bad guy in that movie. He is somebody who's just tired of his fucking family and tries to do something about it because he's the one that's kicked out of everything.
Yep.
And he's the laughing stock of the entire family.
And he's just sick and tired of it.
He's just tired of it. Plus, he has Cerberus, which automatically makes him awesome.
Three-headed doggy.
But, I mean, anything with God of War that's iconic for fantasy stuff is any of the kill scenes. Like, some of the fights and everything like that are pretty good. The puzzles are mediocre, let's be honest.
Yeah. They were very rudimentary.
Elder Scrolls has better puzzles. I will say that. But I mean, God of War was more of a button masher. I mean, half of the puzzles were solved by grabbing a door and smashing X until you pushed it up. It was like, congratulations, you win.
I mean, God of War was one of the first sensationalized QTE style games.
Yes. But I mean, it was a very violent fucking game. Like one of the iconic scenes from God of War 2, I think it is. There is a follower of whatever god you're going against. I can't remember what. He's standing at a dais. And it's got a fucking stone tablet on it. And Kratos grabs him by the back of the head and starts smashing his head into the stone dais until the blood pools off of the dais and fills up the fucking markings in the floor and proceeds lets the level proceed. Like I said, God of War was fucking amazing for so many things, but the brutality in it was the best.
Oh yeah. Oh, now.
And yes, Scotty, Alan and I were just talking off stream about how they're killing the Xbox 360.
Yeah, we were just talking about that before we started. Another game though, if you haven't tried it out, I highly recommend you try to find it. I believe, no, actually I don't know if you can get a modern version of it right now, but it's called Ashura's Wrath. And I can tell you right now, some of
I saw it on a store somewhere. I just don't know where.
I will say the scenes, the battle scenes in there, as well as the kill scenes and just the cinematics are fucking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, if we're still talking fantasy, there's another old series of games that I fucking love. But that was back in the days before like cinematics and all that fun shit.
Oh?
Do you remember the Gauntlet series?
Yes, Gauntlet Legends and Gauntlet, the very first Gauntlet games. Those were the original dungeon crawlers.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I loved those style of fantasy games. But again, they didn't have any like iconic scenes or anything like that because back in the day they didn't have that capability.
No,
I mean, if I remember right, didn't the Gauntlet games start as arcade games first before going to consoles?
That's, if I remember correctly, the first Gauntlet game actually came out for the PlayStation 1 before going out into the arcade version, and that's where they started to actually gain traction. From there, they went back to PS2 with Gauntlet Legends Reborn
and the original Xbox.
And the original Xbox, yes.
And then they made at least 2 Gauntlet games for the 360. My best friend in high school and I would play the shit out of that game.
They also played one more for the last Gauntlet game that I remember them making. That was the most recent one. Was the one for the PS3, but that was it.
Yeah, that was the 360 era.
Yeah. Ouch! Hit my toe.
So, I measure in terms of Xbox, not Sony.
Let's see. Another thing in chat that was just asked, does anyone remember the game called Prototype? Ooh, Prototype. Okay, so Prototype was
We were talking about that a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, because that's a good game. It was. The second game, not so much, but the first game
The
was
second game was trash.
Yeah, the second game they completely lost the plot, but the first game was amazing, and I would like for them to do a remake of that, and maybe I don't know, redo the second one, uncanonize the second one they first made, and be like, hey, that one never existed. Fuck it.
I would like them to take the first one and give it the Dead Space treatment.
Ooh, Dead Space as a remake. Going into sci-fi, actually, that's that place.
Mm-hmm.
As a remake, Dead
That's kind of why I
Space
brought it up.
was so well done, and it is one of those games that did creepy really, really well.
So I akin Dead Space to a playable version of the game, or of the movie Event Horizon.
And Horizon, Michael Crichton,
The one with Sam Neill and all that stuff. They find the Event Horizon after it resurfaces in space.
He takes out his own eyeballs.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, that movie.
Yes. Yeah, and it's haunted by a demon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, truthfully, that's essentially Dead Space, except for it's an alien parasite technically, but you know,
It's very similar premise.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like they crossed Event Horizon in the Doom movie with the lore that they came up with, the Doom shit that wasn't anything like the fucking games.
Didn't make the movie any less awesome though.
No, the visually, as I heard it on a podcast today, the Doom movie, visually amazing, and it was the first one to do the PS style shooting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the first person part of it,
which
but
absolutely love that part.
Lore wise, fucking wrong.
Let's see if I remember. As Pro Hungry says, if I remember correctly, in Prototype, there's a virus, and you're like Patient Zero, able to absorb the virus into weapons. Not sure though. Essentially, the way the virus in Prototype worked, and yes, you were Patient Zero because you were used as an experiment, and you broke out. That's why you're the Prototype. But because you broke.
I was gonna say, Pro Hungary's technically not wrong. You did absorb people and weapons and shit like that,
and cars,
tanks,
buildings, the world, essentially.
It's like Venom, but on crack.
He's hungry. He's not just gonna eat the brains, though. He's eating everything. Wookiee for president. You know what? If there was a Wookiee running, I would definitely vote for them.
They get pissed off the debate, just rip the arm off and smack people with it.
Well, you win.
Mainly because everybody else is afraid.
Does anybody have a rebuttal? Nope.
I drop out.
We're done. We like our arms in our sockets.
So, Mr. Wookiee, Senator Wookiee, what is your response to the housing crisis in America? The fuck did he say? Is Han Solo here? We need a translator.
You need C-3PO because he's the only one that can actually.
No, Han can.
No, I know Han.
Everybody can. So, fun little random sci-fi fact. It's been confirmed, kind of, that Wookiee is kind of telepathic. If you spend enough time around the Wookiees, you can understand them, and they understand you, but you don't have to translate into either language.
Huh. That's actually pretty cool. I didn't know that.
I mean, think about it. Han understands Chewie, but responds back in English.
True.
The same thing with everybody who talks with Chewie.
Or anybody who talks with any of the. Like
languages.
Wookiees never bother to learn anyone else's language because they don't need to. Apparently,
I mean, technically, if I'm remembering right, like it was some little offshoot random ass fucking thing that I saw, but I think like Wookiee language has something to do with using a little bit of the Force subconsciously.
that would make sense. That also would make sense why they were wiped out, because they were one of the most feared by the Sith if they were ever to become a Jedi.
Give me a second.
Oh no, we're losing Chef. I think he's gonna go shit himself. I'm just kidding. That's not true. Oh yeah, no, Wookiees were seriously OP. When it came down to non-canon and canon, technically in canon, I think there is only 2 Wookiee Jedi. And the only reason that they were indoctrinated, one of them was due to the inherent nature of the Clone War. The other one, I forgot where he came into being. But there were also 2 others, one of which was a Sith, but they were part of Legends canon, so they're not actually canon to current.
Wookiee costumes are such a pain in the ass to fucking pull off too.
Yeah, because you can't just like put on a furry ghillie suit. That's not gonna work.
No, so again, hi, I do Star Wars cosplay. The Rebel Alliance will allow Wookiees if they're accurate and follow the CRLs. One of my buddies, Forrest, does it. They have to have platforms in their shoes to make them tall enough to be Wookiees.
Mm.
Fucking, not only that, but they are the hottest fucking thing. Like he has 2 Mandos. He has a Din Djarin and he has a screen accurate Din Djarin and a screen accurate Boba Fett. And he says his Wookiee is hotter than wearing both of those.
Damn. So do the Wookiees that are part of those guilds, do they have to have like faces that move and are able to express? Mm-hmm. God damn.
I mean, not like the full on like, being able to pop an eyebrow and all that shit, but you got to be able to move the mouth.
Okay.
And they all have soundboards in them too to do the Wookiee thing.
That's cool though. That is really cool.
Yeah, and they don't make them do the hand extenders so that way they can use their actual hands and shit, especially if they fall while wearing the platforms.
Nice. Good, because I'm going to tell you right now, I do have friends that have done cosplays where they needed to wear, like, the stilts that they attach to their feet.
Oh, they're not allowed to use stilts.
Oh, it can't be stilts. Okay.
No, shit. They have to use platforms, like platform boots and shit like that. And they build even bigger platforms if they need them.
Never mind. Okay.
But they're not allowed to use the stilts. Not in our groups, because our groups are being actually LFL certified, Lucasfilms, that they have to actually follow safety protocols too.
And Cassie, you know what? That probably fit along the lines of you, Ewok. Adorably short and terrifying. Don't fuck with Ewoks.
I've been told I need to either do a Ewok or I need to do a fucking Jawa.
You would fit both of those.
I would fit both of those. Especially being 5'6".
The Jawa more so than the Ewok? Actually, no, you would fit both equally, both
I
of
would
those.
fit both. I personally see myself as a Jawa more than an Ewok, but, I like to steal shit and it's funny.
You walk around, mother. I crave violence.
I go to these cons and fuck with all my friends and like the Jedi and the Sith and the Rebel Legion and shit, and I will just, if it's somebody I know and I know it's their prop, I will steal it and walk away with it, and they won't notice it until later, and they'll be like, where the fuck's my lightsaber?
And they just see you running around with it. Cackling like a freaking maniac.
Yeah, usually I'm posing with it for, fighting one of the other Mandos or some shit, and they come up, give me my fucking shit back.
Let's see. Pro Hungry here asks in chat, is there a monster from a game you played or from a movie you watched as a child that you're still scared of? To me, it's the Dahaka from Prince of Persia: The Warrior Within.
Yes, but it has
Pennywise.
nothing. Pennywise, the dancing clown.
He's not a dancing clown.
Yeah, mine actually comes from a horror movie too, and it's a ridiculous one. And the only reason I'm still afraid of it and refuse to watch the movies is because I got scarred with it as a fucking kid, and that is Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get them peepers?
Pennywise is not my nightmare fuel. Pennywise is amazing. There's a reason it's my favorite Stephen King book. I own 2 copies of it, one in hardback and one in paperback.
Don't get me wrong. I love the one. I love the original movie telling with Tim Curry. I love the books. It's just I have some trauma involving Pennywise and that movie because my brother made me watch it when I was 5 and then shoved me into a pillowcase and then threw me into the closet and then locked the closet door. That was fun. But
I have not. Oh wait, is the Gate the one with Johnny Depp? No, that's the 9th Gate. Never mind.
Let's see, the Gate. I don't know if I know that one.
But no, I fucking love Pennywise. Like Tim Curry doing it, and the new dude. The new dude actually did a very good job at doing Pennywise. They stayed closer to the books in the new movies, but also at the same time cut out a lot of shit that I wish they would have done, because technically we have the technology to do everything with the turtle and all that fun shit, the out-of-body experiences and everything. But they just cut it because if you haven't read the books, you don't really know it. But if you've read the book, then you know the significance of it, and it's just only the hardcore fans are the ones that are pissed off that it wasn't there.
So, okay. Involving actually, because this is technically fantasy, but going into specifically Stephen King, how did you feel about the media rendition of The Dark Tower?
I haven't watched it because I haven't read the books.
Wait, you haven't read the Dark Tower books yet?
No, I haven't been able to find a fucking set of them yet. It's just like right now I'm trying to find a hardback copy of Christine, and it's like fucking $150 something.
Yeah, I tried finding that one for you too. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying the other night when you, Oda, and I were talking about it, there's a used bookstore here, and a couple of used bookstores here in Jacksonville, so I might go and look at those. But no, The Dark Tower is on my list of shit to read because I know it ties almost every book together into one universe.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Pennywise and The Stand and The Shining and all that shit. Yeah, it's just another one of those ones that I just haven't gotten around to it.
I can't wait till you start reading them. Let me know once you finally get your hands on them, because I absolutely am enthralled by the Dark Tower series.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard they're good. I mean, my buddy Brian, they're his favorite books and shit, but I just haven't gotten around to it. It's
just one of those things.
I didn't really start like collecting my books and trying to switch everything to hardback until like 4 years ago, because I just got tired of all the paperbacks and all that fun shit, and I've always liked hardbacks more. So it's a slow process, especially when you're trying to find old books.
Definitely when it comes with old books, because some people just don't treat books well, and there's sometimes not a lot of copies anymore.
Okay, this has nothing to do with our fucking series, but I saw a TikTok, or our subject. I saw a TikTok. I sent it to, I think I sent it to Scotty. I might have sent it to you. I don't remember. It was a while ago. It was a dude explaining about how he reads his books, and his coworker was giving him so much shit for it, and like I literally started twitching, and like felt it in my fingertips that I was going to throw my phone. This dude takes hardback books, takes the dust jacket off, folds it open, grabs the front cover, completely flips it and breaks the spine to touch the back, the two covers together. And then when he's done reading, he doesn't close it. He takes a rubber band and puts it around it with the pages still facing out.
He's a monster. He's a monster.
Dude, I was fucking twitching.
Why? Why would you do that to a book? Hi, why?
Like literally, say this notebook is his book. He takes it. He's like, okay, yeah, crack. Okay,
no.
And then he like folds it over like, you know, like this, and then he wraps a rubber band around it this way when he's done reading, instead of using a bookmark.
That poor book. That poor fucking book.
Shit.
Let's see. Paperbacks don't last that long with heavy readers. There is that too, because, you know, human hands and the oils in our skins are some of the most corrosive fucking things ever. And then Pro Hunger here says, it's kind of hard to turn someone off with a lightsaber if you don't take their head, because it generates so much heat. If you cut somebody or stab somebody with it, they won't bleed out.
No, but they'll still go into shock.
Yeah. They'll still have a hole in them and a chunk of them missing that got burned out of them. That's still going to hurt. A lot. Like, a lot. And depending on where that hole is, that could cause more problems like internal hemorrhaging and, I don't know, blockage of organs and nerve. There's just so much that goes wrong. Having a hole in your body, even if you cauterize it, is not a good thing.
There's a reason I want a lightsaber butter knife.
Because you want to cut your toast.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be bread at that point. I would be cutting toast.
Mm-hmm. Could we survive Alien versus Predator? No.
Yes.
What do you mean, yes?
Yeah, we could. Nukes.
Okay. I will concede there. I will concede with that one. You win. Just like when anybody uses that. They win. You lose, but you win.
I also there's a shirt on my shop right now, and it's not one of the ones that I'm going to take down when I revamp. I love the shirt. So you know the phrase almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades?
Mm-hmm.
Well, me being me and always being extra, that saying was never good enough for me. So I've been using a saying since I was in middle school, and I decided to put it on a shirt. It says almost only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and thermonuclear warfare.
Valid.
Ooh, so I got a fun one trying to get back to topic.
All right. As we've gone like fucking everywhere.
Do you consider Fallout to be fantasy or sci-fi?
Personally?
Mm-hmm.
Fallout falls in the scope of punk, which kind of, for me, like I use that concept, that word for like, you know, like steampunk, fantasy punk. Punk is essentially a fusion of sci-fi with a bit of fantasy into it, because there's definitely fantasy elements in Fallout, but I see more sci-fi than fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Fallout is sci-fi all the way, even though it's fairly fucking logical that it could happen. It is as close to Call of Duty as you can get,
Mm-hmm.
while still having some sci-fi to it. Because I mean, there's no guarantee that, you know, radiation sickness is gonna turn people into ghouls or mutate fucking flies into fucking giant ones or fucking super mutants or et cetera, et cetera.
Or, you know, two-headed cows.
Yeah, exactly. Or fucking rad stags. I mean, you know, there is no guarantee that that's going to happen. So that's where a little bit of the sci-fi aspect comes into it. But I mean, truthfully, it's set in the future, sci-fi.
Mm.
It's, granted, the technology is something that could technically be done today. The retro cars, the housing, the TVs, I mean,
Even the
et cetera, et cetera.
exosuits.
Yeah, I mean, we are working on fucking exosuits. I mean, shit. Fucking Japan made a Gundam that flips people off.
It was kind of funny.
It was great. So I mean, it's sci-fi, as close to sci-fi as you can get to fucking actual real life. So Fallout is 100% sci-fi to me.
Okay. No. I can see where you're coming from. I guess for me, the fantasy aspects are more in the societal, and how the society interacts with one another. For me,
Not really. I mean, if that's the same thing, fucking The Walking Dead would be fantasy for you.
I guess you're right. I guess you are right.
I mean, truthfully, like Fallout is just another case study in human nature in a post-apocalyptic whatever.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a case study because that's what the vaults were.
That's what the vaults were. But no, I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but at the same time, I mean, that's steeped in scientific fact.
True, that's true. And we have seen radiation actually cause mutations in a multitude of ways. I mean, look at the animals in Chernobyl. Hell, some of the science that was spoken of in one of my favorite movies, the Godzilla movie with Matthew Broderick, where he talks about the worms, is an actual scientific study that was being done on those worms.
Yeah. Yep. Was he on 3 Mile Island or was he in Chernobyl? I can't remember.
I believe he was in Chernobyl.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Because when he was talking about his study, he was talking about Chernobyl. So that's kind of where I surmised that's where he was. And they were Russians when they came in to come extract him.
It's just 3 Mile Island's a lot closer.
It is.
Which I just love the fact that in that movie they again, a sci-fi movie, because even though it happens in modern times, there's no fucking giant lizard coming out of the ocean.
No, that's not going to happen anytime soon.
That's straight radiation from the Bikini Atoll.
Oh god.
Where SpongeBob came from.
That there's a reason why that the lagoon is green, and you see actual radioactive barrels in the fucking town.
Yep. Because SpongeBob is nothing but a one-sided joke about all of America's nuclear experiments in the Bikini Atoll. That's why he lives in a pineapple under the sea in Bikini Bottom, Bikini Atoll. That's why a sponge can walk around and talk.
That's why there's people, fish bowl.
So there's a fact, while we're on the subject of nuclear testing, Fallout, all that fun shit. I want to see somebody in a sci-fi nuclear game reference a fact. It is a 2-part fact. There is a radius from the blast site where all the frozen pizzas in the grocery stores are cooked to perfection. Also, on the flip side of that, there is a radius from the blast site where all the people are cooked to perfection.
Yeah, no.
I just want it in a passing comment in like a Fallout fucking game or some shit. Like a DLC or something, where you go to one of the cities that physically got hit by the fucking bomb.
You find cooked people and cooked pizza. Someone put them together and is now selling people pizza.
You know what would actually be a really fun sci-fi Fallout game, or at least a DLC or something like that? You're somebody who was not in the vault when the bomb went off, and play it from the original day.
Ooh. A survivor.
kind of like Gears of War is doing E-Day, the day that the grubs came out of the ground. I want a prequel to Fallout.
Okay. I actually like that idea. And that actually, speaking of, I'm really glad you brought that up because that circles back around to a question or something, a subject that I wanted to talk about, which was the new Gears of War game that's coming out.
Yep.
Now, how do you feel about it being a prequel? Not having, I believe, Marcus and they're not. None of them are going to be in it, right?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, you're playing as Marcus again.
Oh, okay. So we're not going to be playing as his son.
No, fuck his son.
Good.
I hated Gears of War 4 after Marcus dies, and then I do not like 5.
You mean you don't like the Brofest of 5?
Dude, I haven't even finished 5. It's another Halo Infinite all over again.
I know. It's just
let's take a game series that is known for being point A to point B, and we're gonna give it an open world aspect. Do what you fucking want. Why? You have a formula. Stick with the fucking formula.
Mm-hmm.
People already don't like the characters, and you're just trying to finish the story at this point.
And we don't want you to finish that story.
No. But the fact that the next Gears of War that's coming out is E-Day is fucking amazing because the first game, Marcus has been in prison for, I think it's like 8 years or some shit.
Yeah, for insubordination,
for
right?
A court-martial. Yeah, a court-martial. Which you end up finding out what that was later on in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that since we're doing it on E-Day, since we're doing it on or starting on E-Day, we will actually get to see the insubordination that gets Marcus thrown in prison. It had to do with his dad, if I remember. Yeah, his dad. You actually found it out in Gears of War 3. His dad, or 2. Sorry, Gears of War 2. His dad was in their family mansion doing experiments, and it got rushed by the grubs. So Marcus took a helicopter and went to go save his dad, and it didn't work.
He failed.
His dad was presumed dead until he pops back up in, like I said, 2 or 3. I can't remember which.
I'm gonna guess his insubordination was the fact that he didn't pull out when he was supposed to.
No, it was the fact that he was told he wasn't allowed to go save his dad, and he stole military equipment to go save his dad.
Oh, okay. It wasn't the fact, it had nothing to do with anything other than the fact that he stole all the shit. Well, that's probably bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, he also disobeyed orders. Even though his dad was working on, stuff to fight the grubs and everything, it was a scientist and all that fun shit.
It was supposed to be a virus, wasn't it? That was going to wipe them all out?
Yeah. And that's why I think it was 2. It wasn't 3.
Mm-hmm.
But when Marcus was told he wasn't allowed to go, so he grabbed his shit and fucking ran. I mean, stereotypical military storyline. How many movies are like that? How many games are like that, et cetera, et cetera.
It's Rambo all over again.
Yeah, Rambo, fucking, everything else. But, it's one of those things like we'll actually get to see it from the beginning. Kind of like how I like how with The Walking Dead started when Andy Lincoln woke up.
Mm-hmm.
Or when Rick woke up.
Rick Grimes, technically, but yeah.
Yeah. The actor's name is Andy Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So we didn't get to see, we saw when he got shot, which was before day 1. Then he wakes up and the world already went to shit. So there's a big time lapse there. So that's why they did Fear the Walking Dead, which started a couple days before day 1, but in LA.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to see everything go to shit, which was fucking awesome. I love when they do that. Like when you have a good series, Gears of War, Walking Dead, et cetera, that starts technically in the middle of the shit. It doesn't start in at the very beginning. I love that fucking shtick when it comes to movies and shit, because hey, all the boring shit already happened. Watch what happens now.
Yeah.
But you know, you still have questions, you know, what happened here, what happened there, et cetera, et cetera. And now they're dropping a game that will physically show everybody's favorite two characters, because in the fucking trailer, it's Marcus fighting somebody, fighting a grub, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And then fucking Dom saves his ass. Granted, both are young as hell, which is awesome. So I don't know if I doubt we'll meet Baird, because Baird had his own problems, hence the reason Gears of War Judgment Day, where he did his own insubordination and shit.
Yeah.
Which, if I remember right, that happened on E-Day as well, or shortly after it.
Something like that.
But, and I doubt, and we won't meet Cole either, because Baird was thrown into the team to do the intelligence, because Baird knew about the plan to basically nuke the fucking grubs. And it would be a suicide mission. Baird knew about it. Cole was thrown into this shit because they found him in a firefight.
The Cole train.
So, exactly. So I very seriously doubt we will meet either of them in the new one.
No, if anything, we might get a mention of Cole, because if I remember correctly, before everything went to shit, he was an actual famous athlete.
Yeah, essentially that Gears of War's version of football. But there might be mention of him, and there might be like off over the shoulder comments about Baird.
You might get like a radio transmission or something.
Yeah, something. I doubt we will meet either of those two characters, which is fine. I mean, as much as I like Cole, Baird I find a little bit annoying, but that voice actor played that character amazingly.
Oh yeah.
But the other thing, like we were talking about Friday after D&Deuce, you know, people are already asking, well, where's the Chain Lancer? It's Gears of War. Where's the Chain Lancer? Yeah, in the later Gears of War, you get access to the original Lancer, and then the Lancer with the bayonet on it, and then they invented the fucking Chain Lancer. So I will be excited to see if we get to see the induction of the Chain Lancer with it, or truthfully, it depends upon how far into this sci-fi world they're gonna go.
It would be amazing if we got a scene where you see Marcus grab one of the original Lancers, and, you know, like they're at like Internum base and someone hands him an attachment, and it's the fucking Buzz attachment to it.
Well, the Buzz attachment the Buzz attachment's actually built into the casing.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, I mean,
it's not like it's not like a normal gun now where you can just attach shit to it. I would like to see him in a lab or like a product testing type of thing, and the grubs pop out, and, you know, he grabs it and fucking just annihilates one.
He's like, I like this.
Gears of War style. But I mean, I'm not gonna hold my breath for it. I'm sure if they do give us the Chain Lancer in the prequel, it's literally gonna be just because it's everybody's favorite weapon from the game.
Okay. Now,
if they don't, I understand that, because technically, time period wise, they didn't have the Chain Lancer.
Right. Now, I do hate to do this, but I do want to take a small break because we have been live for an hour, and I do want to go to the bathroom. But before we do that, I do want to address some of the comments here, because let's see. It's hard to make a story to an open world game because you already go late game areas in the first hour. It's like Chef said, if you already have a game with an established, functional formula, don't deviate too much from it. You can add stuff to it, but don't go straight 360 and do something different and add something that takes away from the original aspect of the game. And if every survival game ended the way Subnautica did, where you owed somebody money, it'd be very much so, well, that'd be reality. Either way.
Is that how Subnautica ends?
Yeah, no, in Subnautica, you accumulate debt at the end of it. And they will tell you how much you owe the corporation for having used their resources to survive.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We are going to take a quick be right back break. We'll be back in a few minutes. I'm just going to go to the bathroom and check up on a few things. But I do appreciate everybody for being here. Thank you all so very, very much. And yeah, we'll come back and we'll continue talking about sci-fi versus fantasy. More than just video games now. We're just talking about whatever, sci-fi versus fantasy now. But either way, we'll be back.
Hey there. You doing all right? You having some problems? Do you need some advice? Well, check out my podcast, Fajali Advice, where we do our best to try and help out others to be able to realize that mental health is something as important as our physical health. And of course, if you do want to participate, check out the email at the end. Your submission is completely anonymous. And of course, we hope you have a wonderful day.
Well, hey everybody, missed Faja streams? Well, check out these highlights to see what you missed.
Yes, a hug. You're the one that gives out the mouth hugs Asian daddy gave.
Don't say it like that, you fucking creep. Oh my god. It's like the most awkward way. Giving out mouth hugs. Oh my. And if you need the shield of don't mean to offend, not to be rude, or anything like that, that just shows weakness in your statement. Death? Death. Death.
Coming this summer, your mom.
There's a fucking tank?
Yep,
They have a tank?
apparently.
Hey everybody, Random Skull
Mr. Announcer!
and we're here to let you know about...
About YouTube!
That's right, Asian Fashion Gamer has a YouTube. If you want to check out his projects, well, check out the link.
Hey there, everybody. Mr. Announcer here. I want to take a moment of your time to let you know that there are ways that you can support Asian Fasha Gamer with direct donations through Cash App and PayPal. And you can make requests with these donations. They will be treated as priority requests for short-form content on YouTube and on TikTok. We thank you for your support, and we hope you have a wonderful day. Hey everybody, Mr. Announcer here. I got some highlights for you to make sure that you remember to watch Faja streams.
I'd rather him not try to speak, because if he tried to speak, he would sound like... And I just grabbed a tick. A Nidhogg hatchling. Oh, that's what it is. There you go. Go be creepy in that thing. Wait, I can't kill you? Come on, I'll kill you like this. Now you're dead. Yeah. Hey, wait, get back here. No, get back here. Wait, where'd he go? I was gonna kill him. Motherfucker. But you do hear, in the distance,
The thickness will not go down this way! Well, hey there, everybody. Mr. Announcer and
Random Skull?
And we're here to let you know that Asian Pasha Gamer also streams live on Twitch 5 days a week, and sometimes on YouTube.
And if you want to continue to support Asian Father Gamer, check out the links for his Twitch and his YouTube, all in the link tree.
That's right. Check out those links.
Hey there, everybody. Random Skull here. You worried about missing Fasha streams? Well, here's some highlights to show you what you missed.
1, honey, we're married, we share everything. 2, you don't live with somebody as long as we have without picking up each other's mannerisms.
It's part of being in a relationship. You start to mirror each other. Need to use my handy dandy water bottle. That is, mine. My always disrespect your trolls water bottle, which is now available on my merch store, AFG brand store. Check it out, links in the bio. I'm just here trying to get stuff, and y'all are here trying to kill me. I don't think I appreciate it, right? They're a bunch of assholes. Let's Fallout, steal everything that isn't nailed down. Right.
First time using this, so I don't know how it's gonna work.
Well, hey everybody. Did you know that Agent Fasha Gamer has a Patreon?
That's right, and Random Skull is here to...
I mean, it happens. I click on the wrong one. We end up on the 3 screen, and we're not in the right map or right positioning and all that. Either way, hello everybody. We're back from break. Thank you all so much for sticking by and for your patience. Now we're continuing talking about sci-fi versus fantasy. Now we were sticking within video games, but you know what? We went everywhere, so we're gonna keep going everywhere with it.
We're just gonna keep doing what we want.
That's what we do. I do what I want.
Whatever, I do what I want.
All right, now, fuck. So, all right.
Respect my authority.
God damn it. In regards to sci-fi versus fantasy, now that we're stemming away from just video games, thinking about more iconic things, maybe something that's more current.
If you say Dune, I'm gonna slap you.
I'm not gonna say Dune. I was gonna say the Halo from Paramount. I wanted to only mention that because it got finally canceled.
I am so happy it got canceled.
Like,
the best part is like the article that I read is like they canceled it after only 2 seasons. Yeah, if the main character would keep his fucking helmet on.
Right? And if they didn't, completely destroy everything with the Covenant, having them have a human fucking arbiter? What the hell?
Who the fuck knows?
No.
Scotty brings up a good one.
Ooh, Hunger Games. Okay. That's a good one to talk about because there's the books versus the movie. Now, I mean,
the movies are okay-ish towards the books. They aren't great, but they're pretty good.
I mean, there are certain things that they omitted, but honestly, they stayed pretty true to the books, in my opinion. A lot of people...
There's a few things that they didn't, but, they can't stay 100% true to everything. They can't fit everything into a book, or from a book into a movie.
Not unless, of course, they wanted to do the same thing they did with The Hobbit, which would have been bad.
Or Ready Player One, which they should have given the Hobbit treatment, but,
They didn't. And honestly, you know what? I'm going to talk about it, because Ready Player One was...
let's go to the Hunger Games first. Then
yeah,
Ready Player One. Because I will rant my ass off about that shit, because I fucking love that book series. Because, there's 2 now. There's Ready Player 2 now.
Mm-hmm. Which, that came out in 2023?
22,
if
I remember right. But, I mean, what was it? Hunger Games. I mean, Hunger Games was a great... I'm going to go sci-fi, because it's definitely not fantasy. There's not magic and all that shit.
No, I would definitely say sci-fi. Dystopian sci-fi.
Yeah, definitely dystopian sci-fi. I mean, look at District 13.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Jesus Christ.
That's as dystopian as you get.
It's
But, I mean,
David Bowie's dystopian.
what, fucking the Labyrinth?
Yes.
But I mean, the Hunger Games, I feel, was a great like sci-fi. I mean, right there along the lines with like Fallout. You know, it's something that could happen because people are fucking demented anyway. But I mean, it is a good sci-fi novel series and movie series.
Definitely one that I really did enjoy, especially the premise of it. Like the dystopian premise of it worked really well because when you think about human nature, that's exactly what we would do. That's exactly what a government would do at the very least, given that level of control.
Never mind, not going there. But that's another book series that I need to get.
Which is
The Hunger Games.
so you haven't gotten that series yet.
No, I either rented them from the library or I believe I have them digitally on my Amazon Kindle account.
Okay. Now, in regards to Hunger Games and the story, how did you feel about some of the challenges that they did in those particular series? Like,
What do you mean?
in terms of like a Colosseum style battle, like,
Well, I mean, look what ancient Rome did. I mean, there's multiple civilizations now, now in history that use Colosseum style fighting, gladiator fights, you know, et cetera, for, you know, different levels of, you know, entertainment as well as also corporal punishment or capital punishment, you know, stuff like that. I mean, it may be a sci-fi style, like dystopian sci-fi style book and movie, but it's steeped in actual history. I mean, fucking using a, you know, death match has been very well established throughout history anyway. So I mean, all it is just another cyclical application of, you know, different styles.
now, is there a favorite character that you had from at the very least? Because I'm guessing you haven't. Have you read any of the books?
Yeah, I've read them.
Okay.
Like I said, I either rented them from libraries or I have them digitally. I think I've got a couple of them digitally, but
Okay. So I guess within those series, which one was who was your favorite character, if you had one?
I mean, I didn't really have a favorite character from that series because I mean, I didn't really identify with the series. It was just a very well written series.
Okay.
But I mean, Katniss is my favorite. I mean, not only because Jennifer Lawrence played her in the movies, but I mean, even her personality, I will say, in the book matches mine fairly well.
Yeah, in the movie they kind of had to mute it in a way, but I
Yeah.
think that was because of the movie and how they had to do it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, plus another thing that they had to change for the sake of the movie was Homeboy's fucking role. The guy who was running the games, and then the actor died in between filmings.
Yeah, so they didn't really have a choice with that.
No, but I mean they did stay true to the book in a lot of those, and I mean some of the challenges that they came up with, you know, especially I've read all the books. I don't really remember the books very well, but like in the movie, like I do know that the Tournament of Champions essentially having the clock was in the book, in the books, and I mean that truthfully is a fairly interesting, you know, way of handling the terrain and creating a, you know, roaming death clock, for lack of a better term.
That is, I mean, I did really enjoy how they did that scene. It was really cool.
Which
was.
Scene? I mean, there's a lot of scenes from the roaming death clock in that.
Well, I'm
that
sorry,
movie.
how they made the roaming death clock work. Like, even just when they go into the control room and you get to see the inner workings of how it's mapped out, it's how I sort of imagined it from the book.
I will say, like, everything in that movie, well, that's the second movie, right? Yeah, that's the second movie
Mhm.
and the second book. Everything that they depicted in that movie was fairly spot on from what I, imagined in the book, or while I was reading the book. The baboon scene, the fucking the Mockingjay scene, the, gas, losing the old lady to the gas,
Mhm. Oof.
the hornets that sting you with poison, you know all that shit was actually the only thing I think they pulled off better in the movie in those scenes than the book was having the boils literally dissolve in the water.
Ah. The way that they
Because in the
depicted that in the books was a little bit convoluted. And I think that's because of how the
well
language
the
is, though.
well in the books they didn't dissolve, it just neutralized the poison.
Didn't it?
But
Oh, never mind. Never mind. I have to reread the
no,
books, but you're probably right.
I'm pretty sure I'm right, but in the movies they actually had to dissolve them away because I mean those prosthetics are fucking annoying to wear.
I bet.
But also, I mean, you can't really. You have all these big name actors, especially actors and actresses that made the series, covered in all these boils and whelps and shit like that. They're gonna be irritated. I mean, it's the same thing with the Halo series. I get why the actor wanted the helmet off. Does it go against everything that everybody who's ever played Halo and read any of the books or watched any of the movies or anything goes like? Does it go against all that? Yes, but I get it. I mean, it's the same thing with Pedro Pascal in in Mandalorian. You do have to get some visual screen time with your face, so that way people know, hey, it's you.
And I do get that, but with the Halo series, it was done
They should have
wrong.
never fucking done it.
No,
They never should have done that.
no.
But I mean, with the Hunger Games, they had to take the boils and stuff like that off, so that way, for the comfortability, like I said, of the actors and actresses, but also at the same time, you can't go around with like, this isn't fucking Pirates of the Caribbean with an octopus slapped to your face and stuff.
You're not a fish person. Official.
But the Mockingjay scene in that was actually pretty good, where they're it's where the clock strokes. I forget what hour it was, but the Mockingjays, Katniss and Fennec get stuck, separated from the group by the invisible wall, and the Mockingjays are mocking her sister's screams and whoever Fennec was trying to protect. I forget.
No, that I'm gonna be honest. Like one, they did that well, but that was a hair-raising scene because of no, no. Birds with human sounding. Nah, I'm good.
Well, I mean, on the flip side of that, you do realize why some of the birds sound the way that they sound in real life, right?
Yeah.
Because there was the one musician who was playing in the woods, every day, and some of the birds started mimicking his music.
Mm-hmm.
And then as they went generation by generation, they passed down his music as the bird call.
And it became like something that was integrated into the species or that specific group.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that can actually happen. I mean, parrots can mimic.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't take away from the creepiness of it. Like I don't like parrots, but it still can be kind of creepy. It's the whole same thing as a child technically isn't creepy, but you put a child in a horror movie situation where they're the fucking ghost or something, and I'm gonna freak the fuck out.
You don't even have to put the child, just put the pitter patter of feet and the fucking giggle and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll be out the fucking door. I'll be like, nah, I'm done. I'm not doing this.
Why do you think I use it for Legends of Kree?
I don't like it.
But still going with fantasy, or sci-fi technically, because now we're a fucking Ready Player One.
Mm-hmm.
They really should have given that the Hobbit treatment.
That one needed more than one movie to be able to tell that story properly, because we didn't get enough of the main character.
Well, first off, I will say the book, if you never read Ready Player One, is about 1000% better than the fucking movie. The only thing that they kept for the movie, not really, and the fact that there's 3 fucking keys. They changed all 3 challenges. They changed all 3 locations. They didn't really change the storyline, but they did change the storyline. And the amount of references that are in the books and the detail that they go in the book and the detail that they go into is or far exceeds the movie. Like the movie was rushed. They should have split it up into 3 movies, one for each key, with the final battle being in the last movie. And the best part is, it's only like a 300 fucking page book.
But
it's not that big of a book, but they packed so much shit into it.
And they could have. They really could have, with the amount of budgeting that they got for that movie and the backing that movie had in the community. They should have, because they could have They could have made it so much more money off of it if that's what their objective was.
I mean, look what they did again. What they did with The Hobbit. The Hobbit is one fucking book. Technically, It's like one chapter from the original, whatever. But they split it up into 3 fucking movies, and they added characters in that didn't need to be there.
That made no sense to the story whatsoever.
Fucking Liv Tyler's character.
She didn't belong, didn't exist, just had to have one. Why?
Because there's always got to be a love interest. We won't watch the movie unless people are in love with each other.
Yeah, because that's what happens in war. I'm killing everybody, but I'm going to go fall in love with you. I'm killing you, but I'm falling in love with you while I'm covered in blood. Yeah!
Blood orgy!
Okay, some people might be into that. We're not here to kink shame, right?
I mean, Lord of the Rings is one of those iconic fantasy fucking things, though.
Oh,
like,
definitely.
It is quoted. I quote it all the fucking time, truthfully. Like, I love the Lord of the Rings movies.
You shall not pass.
You shall not pass.
You know, okay, going off subject, though, have you heard of the little bit of discourse that's going on within the Lord of the Rings community involving the Balrog?
You mean about the fact that that Gandalf kicked everybody out and Solo killed him so he could get all the experience?
No, not that. I mean, yeah, that was he was kind of being a greedy fuck in that instance, but
he wanted the level for himself.
he got greed before need there.
Oh no! Other than that, no.
So there's this argument that's going on right now. It's a small one, but it's an argument that's going around whether or not the Balrog had wings.
He did have wings.
He did have wings, because if you read the direct description, other than the shadow-like wings, they directly say as he spread his wings.
Yeah. They may not have been functional wings, but he had wings.
Mm-hmm. And it was just like, why is this even an argument?
Location.
Oh, God.
Dick move.
Blame Dear John. Okay, you know what? Dear John was not the only reason why that became a thing. Love and war.
Oh, God.
No, well, yeah, but when oh, sorry.
I was gonna ask another one that kind of like fits in between. It fits in both categories ish.
Okay.
Fucking Avatar.
Ooh.
I mean, technically, Avatar is a sci-fi movie. That's what it's labeled as. But at the same time, I mean, it could almost be fantasy with the animals.
With the way AWA works, but
yeah, exactly. I mean,
interesting.
That's spirituality versus intelligence versus fucking sentience versus magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, interesting enough, they actually talk about how that connection works on a physical and biological level, which is very interesting. Because, God, I fucking hate the name of this, but the unobtainium actually has a biological imperative that works with the way all of the living beings connect with the world. Dumbest name for fucking ore ever, but still.
I mean, not only that too, but there's also biological precedence in the fact that, mangrove trees. Technically, mangroves are one tree.
Which is ridiculous.
I mean, it's the same precedent. I mean, even in Avatar: The Last Airbender, they mentioned that, and there's another game that Scotty introduced me to, AFK Journey. They mentioned that there's one massive tree in the center of everything that has sprouted all of the forests in the world.
That is,
in Avatar: The Last Airbender, you see that in the swamp with the swamp benders. Technically in Pandora, it could be the same thing. And if you have a organic organism that spans the world, I mean, you can technically tap into the electrical signals and, transfer shit back and forth. I mean, look at fiber optic cables. It's the exact same fucking thing.
Yeah, it's a network. It's just biological, but it's under the same premise of the transference of data in a way.
I mean, look at your nervous system in your body. It travels from your brain to everything else. My brain is telling me to flip you off, so my finger does it.
My finger points.
It's the same thing. If I burn my finger, it tells my brain, "Hey, this is hot," and it goes, "Oh fuck, this is hot."
Yep.
It's the same thing. I mean, that's another fan theory I've heard about Avatar too, is that it's all just one giant tree.
A gigantic organism all interconnected, which is definitely a valid theory, but something that whenever James Cameron is asked about it, he's so fucking facetious.
Well, it's James Cameron. He doesn't. Do you really think James Cameron actually thought of that shit?
No, probably didn't. That was it, he's not the storyboarder.
It's us fucking nerds that are thinking about this shit.
Yeah. When it came down to it, I think I forgot who it was that said it. It was either H.G. Wells or another famous sci-fi writer, but one of them talked about it. It's that writers start the world, but it's the community that helps build it.
Yeah. I mean, another fantasy world that's a book series and then got turned into a TV series. Granted, the TV series fucking ended on a horribly sour season, and the writer of the fucking books can't finish the fucking series, you fat fuck.
Oh my god, really?
Game of Thrones.
Can y'all hear how salty Chef is that he has not written Jon Stark's portion?
It's not even that. First off, there's no actual confirmation that that's how he was gonna fucking do it. They outpaced his fucking books in season goddamn 4 of Game of Thrones. And then they went on to do 3 more fucking seasons without the goddamn creator of the fucking series. And then he got pissy because they killed somebody in season 4 that he was gonna kill in book fucking 5 or 6. Now, granted, book 5 has been out and he's been writing book 6 for fucking 11 goddamn years, but he's too busy doing shit for Elden Ring and too busy doing shit for all these goddamn offshoots. And he's got another fucking show that's getting ready to come out on HBO or Showmax or whatever the fuck it is. You fat old fuck, you are going to die before this series fucking ends. Finish your fucking book on your dot matrix bullshit fucking system that you use, because it's going to turn into a Robert Jordan thing where your fucking kid, if you even fucking have one, is going to have to finish your series because you're going to have a fucking heart attack on the toilet eating a cheeseburger.
So, you feel very strongly about this.
I have been waiting for this book for over the entire time I have lived in fucking Florida.
Relatively a decade.
This year marked 10 years on January 2nd of 2024. He has been writing this goddamn book longer than I have been in this fucking state.
Oh yes, Scotty. He has a way with words, doesn't he? This is why I want him to finish his books. I want him to keep working on his book.
Listen.
Oh no,
I am very good. I'm very good at coming up with fucking insults. Okay. Blame Halo 3. Okay.
All right. We know who to blame, what game to blame. Now, involving another, going into from that fantasy into sci-fi, one that a lot of people, for a while, talked about, but all of a sudden it kind of went into obscurity. But do you remember?
If you say Dune, I'm gonna slap you.
Not Dune, you stupid! God damn it! I'm not bringing up Dune, but Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh God, that has slipped into obscurity, hasn't it?
It really has. But you want to know what's really funny? So, people who've watched the movie have a lot of qualms with the book. But people who read the book have a lot of qualms with its origins, the radio show.
Yeah.
But what they don't understand, that has always been canon to the series, is that every time the improbability drive has been activated, reality in itself in every point in time changes, which is why the story is so different every time.
I know, it's fucking great, and people don't fucking understand it. People also don't understand why why the meaning of life is 42.
It's
If you know anything about computer coding, you know why the answer is 42. The writer of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy loved fucking computers and coding. In coding, the number 42, every single number correlates to a fucking letter. The number 42 correlates to an asterisk. And if you don't know in coding, an asterisk is used as basically a fucking wild card. You put an asterisk in your code, and it can do just about anything. So, the reason the meaning of life is 42 is because it is an asterisk, which means it can do anything, which means the meaning of life is whatever the fuck you want it to be.
And the weirdest thing is that was actually the key point of the movie, was trying to explain that to you. Nobody got it.
That's why whenever anybody asks me what the number, or like what the answer to something is, or if it's a quantitative amount or whatever, I say 42.
Because it can be anything.
It can be anything.
It's whatever the fuck you want it to
and
be.
that enough people got mad at me for saying 42 because they didn't fucking understand it, because I'm a giant goddamn nerd. So now it's just yes.
Now it's just yes.
Yeah. I mean, shit, I use it on you all the time. I use it on Scotty. I use it on Oda. I use it on, everyday life, work. My dad, fucking my mom. Oh, my mom fucking loves it when I do it. But
yeah, your mom probably thinks you're being a sarcastic ass.
Do you want this or this? Yes. How many of these does the recipe call for? 42.
God damn it.
I'm an asshole, but at least I'm a funny one, okay?
It's just like they say in a Hot Tub Time Machine. He's an asshole, but he's our asshole.
I mean, I'm an asshole and I'm funny, so people keep me around, but I'm not really like an asshole that is like detrimental to people's mental health most days.
Most days. I'm glad you put that disclaimer there. It helps.
Sir, you have not seen me go off in a fucking COD lobby, okay? Granted, I don't use proxy chat or like lobby chat anymore. If I'm fucking playing, I'm in a party or I have myself.
Right.
Because I grew up in the era of fucking Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4, fucking Halo 3, all that shit.
They can't take that.
No.
They can't take that.
They can try to dish it, and then when their parents hear you, that's when you get reported in combat.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. Like
And I
I
will
said,
say,
the art of shit talking is long dead because you can't take it, but you dish it out, and then you're gonna be a bitch about it. That's how everybody is nowadays.
so my current Xbox account has, I think, 18 disciplinary actions against it.
Oh, I believe it actually
And
because you still play Call of
all of
Duty and shit like that.
all of those happened in high school. Granted, most of them are a funny fucking reason. But prior to the funny fucking reason, there was a lot of shit talking involved.
Of course.
And a lot of messages sent back and forth. But the funny reason is because I got a random hair at my ass one day because it was my second account. And I decided to see how I could push my luck on the Xbox gamertag naming system.
Oh, what did you name yourself?
Which time?
Oh God.
Because it became a mini game for my friends to see if anybody knew joined the party that they didn't recognize the name. It was, is it me or is it somebody else? Because my gamer tags would last roughly about 3 days.
Before you got that notice to change.
I mean, my favorite one, well, they wouldn't let you sign in until you changed it. My favorite one was Jerk My Rooster, but
you know what? That's I gotta tip my hat off for you for that one, even though I don't have a hat on, because that was a good one.
I mean, that was my favorite one. That one actually lasted about a week. I also had
I can't believe that one lasted a week, to be honest.
I mean, I had Choke My Chicken, Choke My Cock, but it was KOK. Yeah. They made me change my name 18 times.
You loved it.
Well, 13 times.
And you turned it into a game. You're the one. You're the one who.
Game.
You instigated it.
I did. But I mean, again, that's what happens when you're in high school and you're bored, and sci-fi and fantasy games just aren't tickling your fancy anymore.
Yeah, time to fuck with the GMs and such, the administrations.
Shit. You know what fantasy game we didn't talk about? And I'm surprised because it is a very, very fun series, at least the first two.
What?
They have a good and an evil system in it.
Oh, Fable! Holy shit!
Yeah. Dude, the Fable series is actually one of the few fantasy series that I actually like in video games. Like, to play.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'll watch Bethesda games be played. I just don't like playing them myself.
Yeah, because they're tedious.
Extremely. And I mean, granted, there is a bit of tediousness to just about every single fantasy game there is.
One moment. I must hydrate.
But Fable was actually a pretty damn good series in the fact that the tediousness didn't outweigh the entire series.
And there were so many fun things you could do. You can go kick chickens.
Yeah, because you can't do that in Legends of Zelda. Goddamn.
No, you do that in Legends of Zelda, you get swarmed by chickens and you die.
And if you do that in Skyrim, you get arrested.
Or, you get half the town chasing you, trying to kill you. You turn around and all of a sudden, they're all just right fucking there. Stop! Ah!
God forbid you actually go to, that town again and just like, oh, hey, look, chicken. Oh, fuck!
Nope. Oh, man, I still remember that, Fable 2 was one of the few games where you could eat a baby chicken whole, and it was crunchy. That was the description.
I remember that, yeah. Now, I will say Fable 3 fucking lost the plot of it all.
Ooh. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I was not a big fan of Fable 3. The colonial age thing,
No, I mean, granted, this is the same thing with, like, Assassin's Creed, which that's actually a fun one. Is that sci-fi or is that fantasy? Because it has to deal with technology. It doesn't have to deal with magic. But some of the things that the fucking ones who came before did damn near seem like magic.
I want to say the first two gear more towards fantasy, and within the third one where they started really kind of leaning into the story about the apple and all that fucking shit.
Now, are you talking about the third one as in the second Ezio game, or are you talking about the third one, Assassin's Creed 3 with Connor?
Assassin's Creed
that one,
with Connor.
Yeah, that's the one that's literally the one that killed Assassin's Creed for me. I played Black Flag. Black Flag was fun, but I mean, after Assassin's Creed 3, I lost interest in it. Like, it was that bad of a game. I was just like, nah, I'm good.
It's because they veered so far away from what the original premise of the game was, and it was like, dude, I do not want to see this dude go Inception into another fucking thing. I don't care.
Yeah. Not to mention that, wasn't 3 the one where they killed Desmond in the end?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like, how are you gonna kill the main fucking character and then the rest of them, all of them afterward is like, oh, you're using the Atomisk in a library of fucking shit. No, the whole point of it is to fucking use your DNA, not to use a stockpile of other people's shit.
Right? Like, come on. But yeah, no, I did see the thing I liked about Black Flag though was the ship system of Black Flag.
Yeah, that's the whole reason why I want to get Skull and Bones. I just don't
want to pay
I
Ubisoft.
Don't like. Yeah, that's the problem. Like Ubisoft Singapore did Skull and Bones, and they're the same ones that did Black Flag. The ship system is damn near the same.
Mm-hmm.
Shanties, the fighting, the fucking maneuverability. They ripped the system from Black Flag and put it in Skull and Bones and turned it into an entire fucking game. The only problem is fucking they waited 7 years to drop the game because Ubisoft got greedy and they went, yeah, we're supposed to drop it, but we're going to keep pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back. And then we're going to push it back because we want to put a beta so that way you guys can actually play it and we can make more money off it.
All the while, hey, buy GTA 5 again.
I mean, that's not Ubisoft, that's Rockstar.
Oh, that's Rockstar, sorry.
But I mean, same thing with Skyrim.
That's true.
Skyrim and GTA have both been out for 12 years on 4 different systems now.
If I remember correctly, they actually hold the world record for the game that's been re-released the most amount of fucking times.
They both do. It's I think Skyrim does because of special editions. But GTA's been on. They've both been on 360, Xbox One, and the Series S and Series X. Sorry, three generations.
Why? And then, of course, we're going to get GTA 6 at $150.
And a subscription.
Because you don't own your games.
I am so, out of love with Rockstar right now. Because, I want to play GTA 6. I want to play the story, but I'm not paying that fucking much money for it.
No.
Hence, the same reason why I don't have Skull and Bones. Back to the whole Ubisoft thing. Skull and Bones is essentially just a full version of a small section of the Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Which, the game itself, I played the beta. I fucking loved the beta. Oh my god, it was such a fun fucking game. And then I saw the price for them releasing it. I'm like, no. I'm not paying $90. I could have got the basic bitch version of the game for fucking, I think it was $80, $79.99.
Yeah, I think it was $79.99.
But, I mean, and that's the other fun thing too. I mean, that is a more historical version of Pirates versus a fantasy version of Pirates, like the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm. And, speaking of Ubisoft, I believe that they're also the ones that are the problem with this involving the new Star Wars game that's coming out. And their subscription-based bullshit with that. That makes me just want to punch somebody in the face because that's the game that I've been wanting.
Outlaws?
Yeah. But I'm not going to pay you extra to be able to get access to all the fucking content. What the fuck?
I have not heard anything about that.
Yeah, I think they haven't been publicizing it well because they don't want any more backlash, or they just are really bad at publicizing. I think it's actually on the latter. They're just really bad at publicizing.
It will be $69.99 for the standard edition. The gold edition comes with the Kessel Runner bonus pack if you pre-order it. Includes 2 upcoming story packs. Oh, that's what it is. That was the bullshit that. Yeah, so if you don't buy the special editions, you don't get access to some of the story missions, like that are technically side missions. Essentially, you don't get access to the Jabba the Hutt missions, which is a load of bullshit because that is a major part of the fucking game.
Right? And it's like, come on. You're going to hide that behind a fucking paywall after we have to buy the game?
Yep. And the thing is like, it goes from $70 for the standard to $110 for the gold to the ultimate digital only for $130.
110 from 70. Why am I paying $40 extra for what's probably $10 worth of game?
Because it's Ubisoft?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'll just get a standard fucking edition. And I doubt I'll even get that because I think it's coming to Game Pass.
There's a good chance that it is coming to Game Pass. I believe, yeah. I have to double check. That's probably going to be one of the first day Game Pass releases things. Which Game Pass is also on their own shit because they increased the prices.
I mean, not a shit ton.
But I believe they're also going to be increasing the prices again and walling off the what is it? The first day Game Pass is behind another paywall.
All you have to do is go from the like $10 a month to the $15 a month.
That's it. It's just between that.
It's something like that. It's not that big of a jump.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And eventually, the base one that can't play the day one Game Pass games or the premium Game Pass games, they're planning on getting rid of that anyway.
So it's just going to be just the gold, essentially. Kind of like what they did with Xbox Gold and Silver back in the day.
Essentially. I mean, and can you really blame them? Look at the amount of fucking games that you were getting for free.
Yeah, no, I guess I'm not that mad on that. Let's see. Jane Clear, what's your personal opinion? Do you prefer Fallout or Skyrim? So, me personally, I prefer Fallout to Skyrim, and that's only because Fallout had a more fun story with it. Skyrim was very cookie cutter for me. And there's a reason why, after playing it for 5 fucking years, I decided I'm done playing the game.
I mean, for playing, neither. I can't stand either of them. They're too fucking tedious for me to play. Coming from a competitive fucking first-person shooter. But, watching them be played, I prefer Skyrim. Because magic and dragons and all that fun shit. But at the same time, I will say out of all the Elder Scrolls games, the Skyrim story is so fucking basic compared to, say, Morrowind or Oblivion.
That's the thing.
I'm
sorry.
I was just gonna say I like fantasy and magic. Sci-fi I like for actually playing, so stuff like Halo or like Dead Space, etc., etc. Mass Effect not so much, but that's just because of the storytelling aspect of the game. But for watching, like if I am consuming it as a viewer, I will watch fantasy over fucking everything.
Okay, good to know. I don't know. For me personally,
I'm a fucking fantasy nerd, dude.
Yeah, true. I don't know. For me personally, though, I do have to agree with you, Jaden. When it came down to it, Skyrim was just very repetitive, and that's the storyline. It got really boring for me. But Oblivion, it had so much going for its story. It had so many different arcs, aspects, and just kind of little campy hokiness to it. Same thing with...
I loved...
Oh, yeah.
I loved Morrowind. How you could kill the main quest NPCs and royally fuck up your entire game. And they're like, oh yeah, no, now you got to restart. So I hope you fucking saved before you did that.
One of those games that taught us the cardinal rule of gaming when it came to single player games. Save.
Always save.
Always save.
I mean, there was one mission in Oblivion that was fucking irritating as shit. Because like it was Elder Scrolls, so everything was essentially just fucking randomly generated and shit.
Mm.
And you had to go to like some like party ball something, I can't remember because it's been fucking forever. And you had to meet up with some chick. And once you met up with her, you could continue the mission. It was a side mission, it wasn't one of the main ones. But like I could never get her to show up. Like ever.
She would just be she'd probably be wandering on the other side of town.
No, it gets better than that. I looked it up one day and because I'm playing it way after the fact. I'm playing it off of like Game Pass or some shit when I was playing it. I looked it up. Because it's randomly generated, this bitch can be fucking mugged and killed out on the fucking road as she's walking like on some other part of the map.
No.
So like I went to the other part of the map where it said she could be, and it's like, oh, you'll probably find her dead. That bitch was like dead in a fucking bush. It's like, God damn it. That's a mission I'm not gonna be able to fucking play.
Well, damn it.
And the best part is because she's a wandering fucking NPC, you never know in which of your 10 million fucking saves that you've done, which one she got attacked in.
Shit. But Oblivion also was definitely one of those games where it had errors abound, but they were fun to fuck with.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, but I will always forever remember unlimited watermelons. Watermelons from the sky.
I forget how to fucking do that, but I've seen it a couple of times.
Like
I've seen videos of it. I've never seen it in person.
It's I had to do it. Like I went step by step watching a tutorial to do it, and it happened, and I was so happy until my character got killed by watermelons as he fell off the roof.
Oh God.
And I did play Starfield, and in all honesty, I got bored. I got so bored that I didn't even finish. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I made it like 20 minutes into the game. I'm like, okay, this is Fallout in space. I'm good.
Well, the thing is, like, even if it was Fallout in space, the thing that really sucked about it is that none of the characters had any personality or life to them. And it just made it so drab and bleh.
It was like talking to Skyrim NPCs.
It's boring. But
Very.
I do see that we are hitting that time again. I do apologize, everybody, but this is where we've got to be ending today's Bunch of Goof Livecast podcast. Thank you all so much for joining me and Chef. Sadly, Odin is not able to join us this week, but he will be with us next week. Y'all here on Twitch, stay right where you are because we're going to send a raid off to somebody. Y'all here on TikTok, we'll see you later. Now, of course...
No, you can't make me.
Oh, hush. Now, of course, for those of you that are, part of this and do enjoy this and want to relive Bunch of Goose, please do remember that we are also posting it on YouTube weekly every Thursday now for everyone to enjoy, starting with episode 1, which has already been posted. Episode 2 will be up this week. And we are going to be rating... Hey, they're live. Sweet. We are going to be rating Hey Smalls. So please do show them the same amount of love that y'all have shown me.
Don't do it, it's a trap. Okay.